Hi, this is Marina from Health Gloves, a certified raw vegan diet and healthy lifestyle coach. If you've been following me for a while, and especially in the past couple of months, then you know that recently, precisely in March 2022, I was fasting for 3 weeks. And when I say fasting, I mean water fasting. In other words, I consumed nothing but water for 21 days and I was absolutely resting. I was under professional and experienced supervision in a center that is dedicated to water fasting, Tanglewood Wellness Center. After I released on the internet about this experience of mine, I got so many comments regarding this, and many of those comments offered me so much love and support, and I am endlessly thankful to all of you who supported me in this period. However, on the other hand, I got lots of criticism and insults. And I understand it all and I accept it because I've been there. I was one of the greatest skeptics when it comes to water fasting. Well, I was also skeptical about raw vegan diet when I first came across the term of a raw vegan diet. I was skeptical about it and I was skeptical about a water fast, but I decided to educate myself about these topics and now I know better. So in this video, I would like to offer as much education as possible about this delicate subject so that you can learn as well. And this is important because what I see on social media and on the internet, that there is so much fear around water fast and so much misinformation and so much lack of education on this topic. So let's start from beginning. In 2013, I went to Costa Rica for the first time. I was there for 5 weeks on a water fasting retreat, but I didn't fast myself. I was on a water fasting retreat as an intern on an internship, and I was interning with Dr. Douglas Graham, the author of the book The 80-10-10 Diet. He was fasting about 12 people who were fasting between 21 and 31 days, and I was one of the interns who was taking care of these fasters, looking after them, taking their vital signs, while all along learning about the raw vegan diet, how to prepare meals, how to exercise, learning about health, a beautiful science of health called natural hygiene, and most of all about water fasting. And since then, fasting has been on my radar. I was thinking about it and I also wanted to go through that procedure, but I never did it before this year. And finally this year I decided to go through that fascinating procedure. But what I really want to tell you here is about the moment of when I came from that water fasting internship in Costa Rica. So what happened was that the day after my return, I accidentally, quote unquote, we all know that everything happens with reason, right? So I met this friend in the middle of the street. This friend of mine is an MD and he comes from a family of MDs who are very successful in their work. And his parents invested a lot of money to school their son to become an MD and to go to all these prestigious medical conferences around the world in order to find his place on these conferences around the world. So I met him and I want to share with you the conversation that we had in the middle of the street. Before I move on to that conversation, I would like to mention that this friend of mine is one of the nicest people I know. He is very intelligent, he is very well-meaning, but as you will see through this conversation, he just never had opportunity to be educated about a raw vegan diet, about health, let alone water fast. So this was the conversation. Hi, how are you? I'm so glad to see you. Hi Marina, I'm glad to see you as well. Well, actually, I'm doing great. I've just returned yesterday from another medical conference in Italy. It was fantastic, as always. And I have only one more exam to go in order to become an MD. and then comes my specialization. So yeah, life's good. I'm really happy and satisfied with what I'm doing. How about you? What's going on? Congratulations. I'm so happy about your success and that you're so happy about it. Well, thank you for asking. I also returned yesterday from a trip, even though it was probably a lot different than yours. I was in Costa Rica on a water fasting retreat where I was learning about health and diet and water fasting. I was interning there, and I was taking care of people and measuring their vital signs of this group of people who were water fasting between 21 and 31 days. Water fasting? You mean they ate only food that was prepared on water? Oh no, I know it is confusing, but you see, they consumed nothing but pure water from between 21 and 31 days, and they were resting all the time. You see, water fasting is a very natural procedure that is done by most, if not all, animals in nature, and they do it instinctively when they are hurt or poisoned. So they just rest and consume nothing but water, because they know that by doing so they will allow their body to self-cleanse and self-heal. So water fasting is a self-cleansing and self-healing procedure. I've never heard about that before, but well, if it is so nice to see that you find so much interest in that, I'm glad because of you. And oh, sorry, I have to go. I'm wishing you all the best. Bye. As I said, this friend of mine is one of the nicest people in the whole wide world, and he's very well-meaning, but he never had the opportunity to learn about a raw vegan diet, about health, about this beautiful science of health called natural hygiene, and about the science and art of water fasting. And I believe that this is the reason why so many people today are in fear of water fast, because water fasting is not known to most people in the modern world, but it is time to change that. In this video, I hope I will share as much education as I can to share with you, so that you would get a little bit more understanding about this transformational process. What is a fast? Fast means rest. So fasting is resting on all bodily levels: physical, psychological, physiological, and emotional. Physical rest is achieved by abstaining from all physical activities, obviously. Physiological rest is achieved when a person retreats him or herself into conditions where they can find peace. Emotional stress is abstaining from processing all emotions, especially emotions that are uncomfortable, like stress, like fear, like panic. You want to have all that out of your radar when you are fasting. And then physiological rest is achieved by shutting down your digestive system for a period of time. So that is a fast. Let's see what is not fasting. Not eating is not fasting. Not eating coupled with resting on all bodily levels is fasting. If someone is just not eating, but they are engaging in all other activities in their normal life, they might actually injuring their health, because fasting means resting, and not eating is just one part of that fast. And I am emphasizing this because I see on social media that many people are posting that they are in their 5th or 10th or 25th day of their water fast. But then I question, like, how they're posting if they are fasting, posting on social media, engaging in the activities on social medias, staring at the screen, doing all the activities of normal life, is not resting, and it can actually damage your health. What is the sole point of fasting. Why would anyone choose not to eat for a period of 3 weeks or even more? So in order to picturesquely explain this to you, I'm going to explain this to you through a puzzle. And this puzzle has 3 pieces. So let me describe one by one piece of this amazing puzzle. Please follow me, stay with me. Everything will be clear very soon. So the first piece of this puzzle says that your body is a self-cleansing and self-healing organism. And this is something that you witnessed when you were a child. I guess that all of us had the moment in our childhood when we fell down, for example, and we cut our skin, and then after a couple of days, the skin repaired itself, it healed itself. 2 sides of cut skin came together and became one, and your skin looked as if you had never cut it. So my question to you is, who did the healing process? Who repaired your skin? The answer is your body. And you witnessed this when you were a child. And you knew at the time when you were a child, it was so natural to you because you instinctively knew that your body is a self-cleansing and self-healing organism. However, as the time went by and you were immersed into all cultural beliefs of this world, you forgot your instinct. You forgot what you know deep inside of you, and that is that your body is self-cleansing and self-healing organism. So that's the first piece of the puzzle. Your body has the ability to self-cleanse and self-heal. Let's go on to the second piece of this puzzle. When you go to the gas station and you want to fill up the tank of your car, what do you put in the car at the gas station? Do you put fuel or energy? The answer is fuel. And then the engine of your car burns that fuel, transforming it into energy. And that energy is what your car is running on. So we have the fuel and we have the energy, and the two are separate entities. And it's the same with your body. The food is fuel, and then that fuel in your body goes into your cells, and in your cells there are these furnaces called mitochondria in which this fuel is burnt into ATP, and then ATP becomes electrical impulses. So your body runs on electricity, but the food is the fuel for your body, making that electricity, that energy for all of your activities. Now, the next question of the same piece of this puzzle, the second piece, is you go to the gas station and you fill up the tank of your car all the way up to the brim. But in the first day, you spend only 10% of the fuel from the tank of your car. The next day, you want to drive your car again. Will you be able to do it without going to the gas station first, or you will have to fill up the tank of your car again? The answer is you will still able to drive the car because there is still fuel in the tank of your car. And it's the same with fasting. During fasting, your body continues to eat because there are reserves from which the body intelligently takes those reserves and transform them into the fuel, and from fuel into energy. How long can you fast? We're gonna see that a little bit later, but you probably can guess the answer. How long can you drive the car? Well, until you have the fuel in the tank of your car, obviously. So during the fast, your body continues to eat by taking the reserves and transforming them into fuel, and then from there into energy. Okay, so we have 2 pieces already, and now we go on to the third piece of this puzzle. And the third piece of the puzzle is the question for you. So the question is, what do you think? What would happen if you would allow your body to direct all its energy towards self-cleansing and self-healing? Okay, let me back up for a second and explain that your body has a limited capacity of energy, of vital energy, and your body has to direct this energy into all the processes that you are giving to your body, like physical activities, psychological activities, processing emotions, and processing food in your body. And then what is left, your body is directing towards self-cleansing and self-healing. For most people today in the modern world, with this fast pace of life and all the activities that most people have, most people have time and energy for self-cleansing and self-healing only when they are sleeping, and most people do not sleep enough. So there is a very limited capacity of time and energy for self-cleansing and self-healing bodily activities for most people today. So knowing this, I'm asking you, what would happen if you, for a period of time, let your body direct all its energy towards self-cleansing and self-healing by stopping all other activities? A miracle would happen. And that is what happens when you are fasting. So now we have the whole puzzle. We have this three-piece puzzle. The first piece of the puzzle is knowing that your body is a self-cleansing and self-healing organism. The second piece is knowing that while you are fasting, your body continues to eat by spending reserves and transforming them into first fuel and then the energy for your bodily activities. And then the third piece is that since all other activities are stopped, your body can direct all that energy towards self-cleansing and self-healing. And now you know what's the point of a fast. How long should a person fast? Well, this is probably obvious. Let's go back to that picture of a car. So you filled up the tank of your car all the way up to the brim, and then you spent only 10% of that fuel in the first day. The second day, you don't have to go to the gas station again because there is still fuel in the tank of your car. How long can you drive that car before you go to the gas station again? Well, the answer is as long as there is fuel in the tank of your car. So how long should a person fast is very different from person to person, and it depends on how much reserves a person has. And I'm emphasizing this because I've seen that some people are regarding fasting as competition. For example, when I released a video in which I released about my 21-day water fast experience, I got some very interesting comments that said, oh, why didn't you go for 28 days? And one comment said, I was fasting for 45 days, you should try the same. And then somebody said, why don't you do 30 days? And I was like, oh, how did you calculate that if you didn't calculate how much reserves I had? And why comparing two different bodies? It is not comparable. The answer is different for different people. So fasting is something that everyone should approach in intelligent way so that this procedure is safe and beneficial for the person who is fasting. Also, I would like to add something that I believe is interesting. In the center where I was fasting, Tanglewood Wellness Center in Costa Rica, the supervisor of this center, Lauren Luckman, told us about a client that he once had who was fasting with him for, are you ready for this? 4.5 months. And then after 4.5 months, it turned out that this person still had more reserves to go on, but the supervisor stopped the fast. And he added that most people today have enough reserves to fast for a couple of months, which just shows in what kind of a world we live in. And I'm not saying this in a judging way. I'm saying this in a way that most people today are lacking education on water fasting, raw vegan diet, and health in general. So in that uneducated state, they allow themselves to fill up their bodies with so much reserves where toxins are also most likely stored so that they can fast for a couple of months. Why 21-day minimum? Before I answer this question, I would also like to add that even though most fasting experts agree that 21 days, that is 3 weeks, is a minimum of a successful water fast, beneficial water fast. In some cases, that length of time has to be reduced, and this happens very infrequently when people are vomiting all the time, or they lost a lot of electrolytes for some reason, or they cannot drink water for some reason. So in those cases, this fasting length should be reduced as well. But for most people who are capable of fasting, 21 days is considered to be a safe number of days for a fast, and the number of days that is minimum to achieve all the benefits. Because fasting experts say that a deep phase of cleansing begins after the 16th day of a water fast. So with 21 days, a person gets 5 days of going into this deep state of cleansing. Can many frequent, periodic, but short fasts replace one long fast of 21 days? The answer is absolutely not. It's absolutely not the same, because only when you go for 21 days, only when you pass that mark of 16 days and then go beyond that, you go into a different physiology state of your body. Doing periodic, frequent and short fasts is similar to this kind of scenario. You want to go from the point A to the point B, and then you start in the point A and you go halfway through, and then you come back to point A and you go halfway through frequently and periodically, but you never get to the point B. If you want to reach the point B, you have to actually go all the way to the point B. Are frequent, periodic and short fasts beneficial? Before I answer this question, I want to give credit to all of you out there who are doing these short fasts periodically. I want to congratulate you for being so conscious about your health. However, on the other hand, I want to encourage you to rethink this process and rethink if that's the most intelligent approach to fasting. So because this is what happens when the body goes into the state of fasting. On the first day, the body uses glucose from the fuel of the food from the previous day. And then after that glucose is spent, the body makes new glucose from glycogen stored in liver and muscles. And after that is spent, the body goes into using proteins from the muscles. So the body uses on the second or the third day proteins from the muscles, and that's the period when some muscle mass is lost. And only in the third or fourth day, depending on how much muscle mass someone has, the body goes into ketosis, when the body uses fatty reserves, and make them into ketones to run on throughout the rest of the fast. So if somebody is doing these periodic short fasts, the person can potentially lose in the long run a lot of muscle mass. So that's the first cons of this approach. Then the second cons is people can develop a psychological fear around that one day of fasting that they determined in advance. So for example, if somebody is fasting on every Friday, that person can develop some kind of fear of that Friday, and then unconsciously they can overeat on Thursday and Saturday, for example. And the third con is that people get disconnected from their bodies, because if they determine in advance on which day or on which date they are going to do something in regard to their bodies, they can be absolutely disconnected from the messages that their body are sending to them on the given day, because your body does not know about the calendar, does not know which day or date it is. Your body only knows now, the present moment. That's the only time that there is for your body, and you should absolutely focus on connecting to your body and listening to the messages of your body, so that you can provide your body with what it needs in the given time. Is it safe to fast without professional and experienced guidance? Absolutely not. And I cannot stress this enough. I see so many people are going into this state. I won't even call it a fast. That's the state of just not eating while doing everything else and not knowing what they are doing. That is not intelligent approach, and it can be very potentially dangerous, and it is not a safe approach in regard to your health, because you, first and foremost, you want to feel safe and secured. Fasting means resting, and one way to rest is to resting on psychological level, and that means to abstain from all the stress, all the panic, all the fear. And you can do that only if you know that you are in safe hands and somebody is taking care of you, someone who is experienced, someone who is knowledgeable about fasting, so that they can provide you with all the education and all the information that you need to go through this process safely and securely. The center where I was fasting in, Tanglewood Wellness Center in Costa Rica, is a center where we were provided with people who were taking care of us in regard to measuring our vital signs. We had exceptional education about fasting, and there was also staff that was cleaning our rooms, cleaning our bathrooms, changing sheets, bed sheets and towels. And we were in this beautiful center that is paradise-like. We were surrounded with the magical energy of nature, and it was very healing to be there. So those are the conditions where you want to be in if you want your ideal fasting experience. And in those kind of conditions, you have peace of mind, you feel safe and secure, and you know that you're in good hands and people are taking care of you. So you are safe, and that's what you want when you are doing a fast. Without all that, if you're on your own and you don't know what to do, you don't know how much water to drink, you don't know which vital signs are good, which are safe, which are not good, you don't know what you are doing, and you can harm your health. So I strongly advise, if you want to do a proper fast, to have a proper supervision. What is the goal with fasting? What do you want to achieve if you are fasting? So picturesquely put, if you are fasting, during the fast, as you are drinking water, provided that you are drinking enough and that you are sipping the water throughout the day in the right manner, you are, so to speak, soaking the toxins in your body, especially all the stored and old material in your intestines, and preparing all those toxins and old material in your intestines to be eliminated once after the fast, when you start consuming food again, provided that you're consuming water-rich food. So during the fast, you're preparing your body to eliminate all the toxins and all the material from your intestines out once when you start eating. Most people today have pounds and pounds, kilos and kilos, and I'm talking about 10 to 20 kilos or 20 to 40 pounds in their intestines. As a matter of fact, I would like to add this: if we would imagine that we can see through people's stomachs, and if we could see inside of their intestines, probably in the modern world we would be disgusted with all the fecal matter that we would see in the people. I do want to emphasize that whatever is in your intestines is outside of your body, because the content in your intestines is not in your body until the moment it goes into your bloodstream. However, it is there, and it is blocking both of your brain and the healing processes of your body. And what do I want to say with this? That when your intestines are clogged, you have depression. When your intestines are clogged, your body is not capable of doing all the self-cleansing and self-healing. But when your intestines are free from all that fecal matter, then your brain works again, the depression goes away, your body can do self-cleansing and self-healing, and you're a vibrant and healthy person. How important it is to introduce food and physical activity in the right way after the fast. It is crucial. It is so important. When you have a supervised fast, when you have an experience and professional guidance in your fast, you don't have to think about this, because your guide, your supervisor, knows exactly how to introduce food again after your fast. They are measuring your food. They know exactly in what kind of frequency they should be giving you your meals, so that you introduce food in the right way, so not to have any ill effect on your digestive tract, but to slowly and surely get your digestive tract to work again in the proper way, and especially to eliminate the old material from your intestines. That's the goal. So it is very crucial to have professional and experienced supervision, so that you can rest assured and have peace of mind, not only while you are fasting, but also when you're reintroducing your food. I would also like to mention experiences that people had with not supervised refeeding processes, and they just damaged their bodies, and it can also be lethal. It is known that after the Second World War, for example, when prisoners were released, they overate on food in order to overcome all the trauma during the period when they didn't have any food, as when they were imprisoned during the war. But after the war, they overate and they died. So it is very crucial to know how to reintroduce food and physical activity in the safe manner. Is water fasting radical? Fasting, that is resting, is one of the most natural procedures that is done by all other animal species who fast when they feel that their bodies are poisoned or injured. And this procedure is also natural to people. However, in modern world, it is lost to our consciousness and our culture. Doctors used to know about water fasting. It has been known all the way to the period of old Greece. When Rockefeller took over medicine, those teachings about water fasting were lost in the teachings of medicine. Fasting is a very natural procedure, but in the modern world, most people are afraid of it because that water fasting is unknown to them. On the other hand, most people in the modern world think that it is normal that they poison their bodies day in, day out. And I'm not saying this in a judging manner, I'm saying this in a caring manner, because I understand that people are not poisoning themselves because they want to poison themselves. No, people just lack education about health, proper diet, let alone water fasting. But for all these people, it is normal that they poison themselves to the point that they have to expose themselves to radiation, to chemotherapy, to mixing bloods, to replacing organs, to replacing kidneys, to liver failure, to pancreas failure, to opening chest and attaching the heart to the battery, to opening arteries, chopping arteries, rebridging blood vessels, chopping intestines, and so on. All that is perceived today as normal, and water fasting is what people are afraid of because they don't know about it. So no, water fasting is not radical. It's actually a very natural procedure. So why did I choose to go on a 3-week water fast, even though I've been on a low-fat raw vegan diet since February 2012? So since February 2012, I've been eating exclusively fresh fruits and vegetables with small amounts of nuts and seeds. And I've been trying my best to live as healthy as possible. So I wanted to go through this water fasting experience because I wanted to know. I know this is strange to most people, but I really wanted to know how it is to go through this fascinating procedure. And I've been studying water fasting for the past 10 years on my own, and I do understand that I can only truly know something if I experience that. I cannot teach people about water fast if I haven't experienced that. And now, after all the education that I had and after all the experience that I had with this procedure, I do feel confident to educate people about water fast, at least to some extent. I'm very thankful for doing this and gaining all the benefits for my health from this procedure. I hope that this video was beneficial to you, and if it was, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and click on that bell icon beside the subscription button, because I'm preparing so much more video content for you guys, and I would love you to enjoy that content and have benefit from it. And now please let me know through the comments down below, have you ever fasted? Have you gone through a long water fasting experience? Where did you do it? How do you feel about it? Did education offered in this video benefited you in any way? So please let me know all that in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you. If you would like to peek into my daily life, you can certainly do so by following me on my Instagram profile, where I'm posting for you daily. You can find me there under Health Glows. Once again, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and until the next time, keep glowing, my friends. Bye bye.